Welcome. We are continuing with our urge with full intensity to have a visit to have imbibing of overview of the mathematical domain of Ganita Sutras with Ganita Sutra 1 as a source sutra. The focus essentially is continuing with the organization data of the text of Ganita Sutra 1. We are having a chase sutra letter wise today in tables 36 to 51. We shall be face to face with the transition from fourth letter to the fifth letter. In fact, third, fourth, and fifth letters make a format in terms of which we can have an appreciation of the features of having a transition and reach ahead from the middle. The third, fourth, and fifth letters with fourth letter as the middle letter is a point of focus. The third letter, elongated O, is of value 1 plus 1 is equal to 2. The fourth letter Dha is of value 7, and the fifth letter E as the second vowel is of value 2. So in one way, it comes to be 2, 7, and 2 as triple. This triple naturally at the one end is of reach 1 plus 1, and on the other end it is of a reach 1 plus 1. It is this distinctiveness of the operations which at the base 1 plus 1 is equal to 2 and at the index 1 plus 1 is equal to 2 is in fact a shift from the addition operation to the multiplication operation. One may have a pause here and take note that the approach to multiplication as repeated addition, not a complete comprehension of multiplication. Multiplication permits approach as repeated addition, and multiplication also is of distinctive features when it is being chased as repeated addition on base and when it is being chased as repeated addition on the index. It is this shift from base to index which is essential feature here. It is this feature which deserves to be comprehended well. So the TC value 2 for elongated O as O plus O equal to 1 plus 1, and TC value 2 of letter E as the second vowel is essentially a shift from the value of pair of axes to the surface itself. Therefore, 2 as surface, 2 as 2 units along a line naturally, apparently, evidently, glaringly, distinctively brings us face to face with as to the elongated O as third letter and E as the fifth letter, despite contributing equal TC value or absolutely of distinct geometric format. It is this distinctiveness of value 2 for O and value 2 for E which brings us face to face with the transition from 1 plus 1 is equal to 2 at the base to 1 plus 1 2 at the index. This, in a way, is a shift from the dimensional order to the dimensional domain. Therefore, the focus here in these tables is to remain upon the transition aspect of value 2 transits at the middle as value 7 to value 2 as of the fifth letter. Third letter and fifth letter are having equal TCV value. Therefore, the real intensity of understanding is to be as to how the 1 plus 1 is equal to 2 as units or linear units and 2 as unit of a surface are to be distinguished, and how transition is to be had from addition operation to multiplication operation. Multiplication as repeated addition is only one aspect of multiplication. Addition at index is another aspect of the multiplication. The multiplication as repeated addition at the index takes us to a sequential shift from linear order domain to spatial order domain. It that way takes us from 3 space to 4 space. Therefore, the fourth letter of value 7 is of geometric format parallel with spatial order creators space. It is here where the shift from the second letter Ka as Ka Brahma on the one end and Ka as Ka Shiv on the other end is going to be the attainment. So Ka Brahma, elongated A, and then at the middle. So 4 to 7 is creators the space, spatial order, and at the middle. On the other end, it is going to be again a surface, spatial order, and then reaching is at Ka Shiv domain. Therefore, the Om Namah Shivaya is the transcendental mantra which deserves to be imbibed fully. Formulation Om is of TC value 16, formulation Nama is of TC value 32, and formulation Shivaya is of TC value 15, making summation value 63, and 63 constitutes a reflection pair with value 36. It is here where we have to be cautious, we have to be attentive, we have to be concentrative when our mind is going to absorb the absorption of the reversal of orientation within the creator's space. The creator space as a spatial order space, because of shift from line to a surface, is bringing in reversal of orientation permissibility within the surface. Is an insect moving along in a line cannot have a reverse progression. However, the insect within a surface can have reversal of progression. Therefore, the value 36 and value 63 are availing the pair of letters, pair of digits 3 and 6, but the script forms of this pair of numerals 3 and 6 as is depicted in the table 37, is of reflection pairing format. The script form of number value 6 and script form in number value 3 are reflection image of each other. It is this feature which is playing its role here in the organization of the TC values curve of Ganita Sutra 1's first formulation Ekadikain. Therefore, while we will be having a progression as transition from fourth letter to fifth letter, then we are going to be face to face with this reflection. The table 38 is bringing us face to face with the split of 7 domain. Parallel to value 7, there is a 7 space format. 7 space as domain will split and lead to a pair of transcendental domains. 7 space domain splits into a pair of 5 space domains. Now see, 5 space is having 11 geometries parallel to the 11 versions of hypercube of 5. Now, the split as 11 as 11 versions of hypercube 5 or the 11 geometries range of 5 space, and these are 11 Rudras, 11 incarnations of Lord Shiva, the Transcendental Lord. However, the formulation Rudra is of TC value 17. It is this feature which deserves to be comprehended well, being parallel with the split of 7 space domain as a pair of 5 space domains. So the value 7 plus 5 plus 5 is equal to 17 is parallel with the TC value of formulation Rudra, while the values triple 2, 7 and 2 of third, fourth and fifth letters together as 2 plus 7 plus 2 makes 11 parallel with the 11 versions of hypercube 5. One shall have a pause here and permit the transcending mind to absorb this set of features of values triple 272 of summation value 11, while value 7 as 7 space domain is having a split into a pair of 5 space domains and hence leading to value 17 parallel with the TC value of formulation Rudra. There are 11 Rudras, there are 11 incarnations of Lord Shiv, there are 11 geometries of 5 space, there are 11 versions of hypercube 5. However, the formulation Rudra is of TC value 17 parallel with the 7 space domain split as a pair of 5 space domains. A shift from this set of features to the features depicted in table 39 take us to the feature as that value 2 as 2 space is of 5 geometries range, and 272 that way will take us to a value 2 and 5 geometries range as 5 space origin within creator space. So as is depicted here, it will lead to value 7 plus 7 is 14. However, we know that the value of the fourth letter is 7. 7 means Sapt. Simple rendering of formulation Sapt is 7. Over the TC value of formulation Sapt is 14. Therefore, the sadhakas fulfilled with the intensity of urge to be parallel with these organization format features of fourth letter shall specifically, distinctively, expressly absorb these features of value and format of fourth letter. A step ahead, the letter 4 as 4 space will be leading to creative order. 4 space has dimension of a 6 space. Now, the 6, 4 and 2, the triples of the first 3 letters parallel with the formulation Rishi is CA. The overview is that we have to dive deep within 6 space domain to glimpse 7 space as a origin. Therefore, 6 space as domain permits transcendence within it along its dimensional frame in the sequential order of reach from 6 space as domain to 4 space as dimension to 2 space as dimension. And there will be glimpse of the origin. The glimpse of the origin of a 6 space by transcending along values 66642 as Rishi Shear is taking us to value 7, which is the value of the fourth letter. This reach at the fourth letter as such would mean that the 5 space is going to be in the role of transcendental boundary, and strip off of 5 space will dimensionalize the outer space as 7 space, 5, 6, 7 and 8. Therefore, this depiction of 7 streams flow from origin of 6 space and split of boundary of 12 components at 5 plus 7 will lead to value 25 and 35, which is a pair of TC values of Vishnu and Parabrahm. So the overview of Vedic mathematical domain of Ganita Sutras with Sutra 1 as the source sutra is going to be the reach for a Vishnu 6 space to Parabrahm. Is this reach which really is blissful attainment of the mathematical domain of Ganita Sutras. Table 41 is giving a further focus on the fourth letter as 4 space format with solid boundary of 7 versions, 7 geometries range at the boundary. Therefore, the fourth letter as TC value 7 is parallel with the 7 geometries range of the solid boundary of the creator's space, and the domain boundary ratio A raised to power 4 is to 8 B raised to power 3 will further lead us to a blissful state as to how there is going to be a transition here from value 7 to value 8, the value 7 remaining at the boundary as a mundane state, while value 8 is going to be a subtle state. A step ahead, table 42 and table 43 deserve to be approached in very delicate and fine state of mind. The fourth letter of TC value 7 is parallel to TCV of the fourth Anthastha letter. Fourth Anthastha letter, Wa. It's a script form is a circle, a writ. Now, the word formulation antastha is of each value 26, which is parallel with 5 plus 6 plus 7 plus 8 as fourfold manifestation layer of hypercube 7. So, fourth letter as four space domain enveloped within a solid boundary which is of 7 versions. Hence, the TCV value of the fourth letter is 7. A step ahead. Now, when at mundane level, we are having value 7 as 7 geometries versions of solid boundary of 4 space. 7 space is 7 versions range of a linear order 3 space. So there is going to be a linear progression which will take from 1 to 7. However, the moment we will transit from value 7 to value 8, then there will happen a transcendental phenomenon that there will be a shift from boundary, solid boundary, to creative domain, to a spatial order domain. So there will be a shift from 1 as a unit to 2 as a unit. Now see, when we want to have a reach from value 7 along a line to value 8, then it would mean we have to take 8 steps. However, if we have a shift of a unit, if we are in a surface, if we are having 2 as a unit, then this will be covered only in 4 steps. Quadruple 1, 2, 3, and then 8 is a transition from linear order to spatial order. It is the enlightenment of Sapteshwara Upanishad. In fact, it is this comprehension in terms of which we, as students of Vedic mathematics, will be having a real breakthrough for our linear order mental state to fathom, to glimpse, to dive into a spatial order for space. Therefore, 1, 2, and 3, and then reach could have been at value 4 only if we were along a linear progression format of a line. However, if we are in a spatial domain where 2 is a unit, then the fourth step will be attaining for us value 8. So this shift from linear order to spatial order is going to be that the 8 number of steps need be taken along a line will give us equal value reach only in 4 steps when we will be having 2 as a unit. One shall sit comfortably and permit the transcending mind to absorb this. Once we are face to face with it, then we will see that if we are approaching from first limb, third letter of value 2 to fifth letter of value 2, so from reaching from both ends, in fact, amounts to reaching at the middle, and it will be a transition from line to a plane, from a line to a bended line, from a linear axis to a pair of axes, from line to a surface. That means it is going to be a shift to a grid format. A grid format of 4 cross 4 will be having a boundary of 4 steps 1, 2, 3, 4 along the one axis and 4, 5, 6, 7 along the second axis. This reach from both ends at the middle as a placement of fourth letter of TCV 7 as 4 cross 4 grid format with spatial order creator space is the feature which deserves to be imbibed here. Table 45 is bringing us face to face with the transition from dimension to dimension of dimension within creators space and parallel features of spatial order and zero order. You see, 2 plus 2 is 4. 2 multiplied by 2 is 4. Minus 2 multiplied by minus 2 as well is 4. On the other hand, 0 plus 0 is 0. 0 multiplied by 0 is 0. Minus 0 multiplied by minus 0 is also 0. It is here where these triple features of superimposition, of addition, multiplication, and reversal of orientations happening at spatial order setup value 2 and at zero order setup of value 0 means this happening at the level of two spaces, dimension of four space, and simultaneously at the level of zero spaces, dimension four space is the phenomenon, is the happening, is the comprehension, is the feature with whose absorption, with whose insight, with whose enlightenment only we can have a transition from third letter to fifth letter through the fourth letter. A step ahead, the tables 46 and 47 are taking us to a very, very blissful attainments. And these attainments are of values triple 272 of third, fourth, and fifth letters with summation value 11 and 272 leading to value 272 plus 27 plus 211 11 272 plus 7 is 283, which is equal to the total number of letters of Ganita Sutras 1 to 16 text. So the entire text of Ganita Sutras 1 to 16 as of 283 letters becomes parallel with the geometric setup of values triple 272 of the geometric format of these triple letters. It is this transition format which will further help us observe as that the entire structure of Ganita Sutras from Sutra 1 to Sutra 16 is manifesting here in the fourth letter seat of creator's space with transcendental origin. Table 47 brings us further bliss as that the Vedic systems as grammarized organization is of 14 Maheshwara Sutras. We have seen that the four space format of the fourth letter is of creator's space hypercube four space format, and it is of fourfold manifestation layer 2, 3, 4, 5 of summation value 14. And simultaneously, we have seen that the fourth letter is of TC value 7. It is parallel with the 7 geometries range of the solid boundary of fourth space. Further, we have seen that value sapt with simple rendering value 7 is of TC value 14. So there are 14 Maheshwara Sutras. These Maheshwara Sutras, 14 in number, are leading to pratyaharas, means internal expression ranges. These internal expression ranges as values streams parallel with the geometric formats are being tabulated here. So the serial number 1 to 14 together with the Anubandas, 14 Anubandas of TC values 71 as depicted here, and the total number of pratyaharas. These three flow lines as being tabulated here in table 47 lead to value 120. 14 Maheshwara Sutras, 42 Pratyaharas. These are leading to the total value 120. This value 120 is equal to 120 creative components for exhaustive coverage of all the 12 transcendental boundary components of a self-referral domain. And this value 120 is the value which bridges the gap between value 666 and 786. It is this wonderful transcendental bridging reach of Maheshwara Sutras lively as transcendental play within Creator's domain. And as such, the Vedic mathematical domain with Ganita Sutra 1 as the source sutra is having blissful attainment, and it is this attainment which gives us satisfaction of learning and teaching Vedic mathematics of the Ganita Sutras. Step ahead, we can glimpse as to how the difference value 47 of the number of letters of sutras and upsutras on the one hand, and 272 leading us value 11, and the dimensional split within creator space as value 36 makes value 47. It is this feature which deserves to be appreciated, and then in this light we can have a geometric chase, parallel geometric format chase for 42 Pratyaharas of 14 Maheshwara Sutras. And the glimpse of table 50 and table 51 is the most blissful glimpse of the transcendental play of the transcendental Lord Shiv as transcendental origin within the Creator's space. Values range 1 to 6, and geometric format of Stapatya Miring Rod and Pratyaharas Maheshwara Sutras are parallel chase steps of transcendental play within Creator's space. Tandam Nritya, transcendental play of transcendental Lord Shiv. Formulation: Tandam Nritya as a value 27 plus 18 equal to 45 is parallel to the synthesis of a pair of cubes contributing 27 and 18 structural components, and value 45 being parallel with the TC value of Nav Brahm. Beautiful, wonderful, blissful, excellent, marvelous. Let us learn it. Thank you very much.